and welcome to Tuesday night's soiree, where we come into the presence of God, where we come with an open heart, where we come in our vulnerability, in our availability to surrender our thoughts, our weariness, our heart, our gifts, our love. And we come to this table as human beings, but human beings who have been touched by God and who were commissioned by God to live life to the full, not to be chasing dreams or shadows, but to face who we truly are, and to try and see our life through the eyes of the Christ, the Son of God. Not an easy task, a challenge maybe, but we come to this table not as plaster-cast saints. We come as ordinary, beautiful human beings. And we are invited to sit at this table of love. We are invited to be ourselves, to be true to ourselves, to be true to our heart. For our heart is our teacher. And though we've been given a gifted mind, a creative mind, a mind that is a lover of beauty, the arts, music, even food, but the mind has to be disciplined. As all the great masters, mystics, and holy men and women of God found, that unless they discipline the mind, then the heart would be suffocated, stifled, denied love. And it's so easy today in the midst of so many exciting temptations to fly away, to choose the easier soft option and press the escape button or the emergency hatch and disappear. But is that what God wants of you and me? That we run away? Well, I know He doesn't want me to run away any more than I have, because I have run away. For many years I ran away, because I was scared of facing my truth, because my head convinced me, yes it did, that God wanted me to return to a living nightmare and live in a Catholic monastery, having lived that life for 8 years. And yes, it wasn't all singing psalms and praising God around the altar. At times it was like being in a prison, a living hell, and it was lonely, unfulfilled, and at times quite joyless, because the emphasis was more on the rule, the letter of the law, than implementing the Spirit of God. But deep down, though we were all beautiful men called by God, when truth came out, we were all lonely, in need of friendship, and to connect with real people, not artificial people. But today, thankfully, that has changed. I hope it's changed in every monastery. But I know there are still quite a few who are still stuck in the 14th century, where they're afraid of their shadow, afraid to connect with who they truly are as a beloved of God. The cosmic Christ takes no prisoners. He doesn't nanny you or me, or go on, give it a go. No. He says, you take up your cross daily and you follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. What does he mean by take up your cross daily? That's a big one. Take up your cross daily and follow me. It means literally to take up your weaknesses, whatever they are. It may be that we have a chronic illness, as I have. And it means rather than running away from it, rather than pretending it's not there, to embrace it, to bless it, to bless what it is that separates us from inner peace, to bless our disabilities, to bless our what society gives us as labels. Let us bless them and release the karmic negativism associated with our running away. And instead of running away, let us run towards the love of God and seek the inner voice of God. Do you know what's so fascinating? I love to watch any film that has nuns in, because I'm sure I was a nun in many lifetimes. I loved Sister Act. Oh, I could just see me as Whoopi Goldberg. But in reality, it was the nun's story with Audrey Hepburn that inspired me as a 16-year-old young man to want to become a missionary monk in 1965. And in early June 66, with my small suitcase, 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of underwear, 2 vests, and a pair of trousers and a cardigan, all black, I left my family and my friends, never to see them for at least 3 years. And I was just gone 16. And when I was allowed home after 3 years of training as a monk, when I was ordained as a junior professed monk, I came home so excited, but it was the loneliest 2 weeks of my life, because I missed my community. I realized I was indoctrinated to a system that did not allow me connect with my feelings. I was afraid to be in the world. I felt so vulnerable, and I didn't even know my parents or my brothers and sisters, and I was their elder brother, because I had been trained as a monastic to disengage from drama, from emotion and fear. And the habit protected me. But under the habit there was a scared young man who really wanted to love his brothers and sisters, but he wasn't allowed to. He wasn't allowed to have any contact through touch, because it was seen in those days as evil. And over the years, you lose contact with your loved ones. You're a stranger in your own home. That was then. But today, something amazing is happening. The cosmic Christ is inviting ordinary men and women to escape that life, to escape having to leave family and friends, to escape having to leave their children, and inviting them as a single person, as a married person, as a disabled person, to come and embrace mystical love. And one can do that quite happily as a married person, even in a relationship a civil partnership, one can still embrace the supreme. And it's about values, it's about attitude, and it's about being willing to surrender your heart and not play games with God. A big chance, a big choice. And it's strange because only yesterday I had a déjà vu feeling when I was running retreats by the Red Sea. And I said to Brother Rob, do you know, I would do anything to recapture the moments of walking on the shores of the Red Sea at Taba and looking at the Mount of Sinai, being in St. Catherine's Monastery, and even lying in the pool sunbathing. All those memories came flooding back, and it took my breath away. And I realized the promise I made to God. But we are human in our service, and we each have a choice to embrace or walk away. But if we embrace God in service, it's all or nothing. We can't be given 20%, 50%, 90%. We have to give all or nothing, because Jesus is a loving God. He's a good teacher. He expects us to enter a partnership of trust, and He accepts us in our vulnerability, and He calls us as we are. He doesn't put any impositions on our heart. The one who does that is ourselves. He embraces us in our woundedness and in our fractured moments. And we are all wounded, because it's in my woundedness that I can see God. It's in my vulnerability that I can offer my availability to God. And if He can accept me in all my failings and love me when so many people walk away, then I'm happy, because I'm in service to God, not to win a popularity contest or be Mr. Monk of Great Britain. No, my work with God is really in secret. It's behind closed doors. There's no academy or Nobel Peace Prize for the work that one does in service to God. It is quiet, it's unobtrusive, and it's not in your face. There's no ego, and it's done, even though it's mundane, day in, day out. We do it out of love, because we've been given the courage to face our greatest fear and bless it. Let us just come to this table, but let's not pretend. Let's be real people. Let's be true to our heart. Let us be open and honest with God. Let Him into the sacred spaces where there is fear, where there is sadness and disappointment, where people and close friends and family have wounded us so deeply that sometimes we build up a brick wall around the heart, afraid to let any more people in for fear of them hurting us more. But that is love. Love is to be hurt by others, because you cannot withhold love to protect the heart from hurt. It's a chance we all take, like Jesus. He embraced all mankind, and yet He was ridiculed and crucified. Allow me share some thoughts. And I'm coming to the first one that really does it for me, and that's His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Food for thought, he said. Religion is a food for the mind. And as we all have different tastes, we must take that which is most suitable for us. Isn't that good? It really, really speaks to the heart. But then he says, Western civilizations these days place great importance on filling the human brain with knowledge. But no one seems to care about filling the human heart with compassion. This is what the real role of religion is. Compassion. If we have compassion, then we understand that God is a compassionate God. Let us reflect now. Let us come as we are, in our vulnerability. Let us come. Let us not be weaklings. Let us be strong. Let us come and name the fears in our life that separate us from stability and security in the presence of God. Let us enjoy coming into the presence of God, for He doesn't judge us. He doesn't condemn us, but He is tough with us, because He asks us, if we choose to follow Him, all or nothing. No second best. It's all or nothing. Earlier on, I asked for something to read for the reflection, and I got this from a great mystic, a very practical woman, Saint Teresa of Avila. And she's talking about the first mansion, the power of prayer, humility, chaos, and wait for it, divine seduction. Oh gosh, divine seduction. And this is what the great Thomas Merton had to say. Now here was a man of God. This man was an amazing monk, but an incredible man. And I recommend him to you. Thomas Merton, a great Cistercian, and he was dearly loved by the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama wasn't easy to get on with in terms of non-Buddhist, but he had a great love for Merton because he could see within the man the struggle, the discipline, and he respected that. In humility is the greatest freedom. As long as you have to defend the imaginary self that you think is important, you lose your peace of heart. As soon as you compare that shadow with the shadows of other people, you lose all joy, because you have begun to trade in unrealities, and there is no joy in things that do not exist. What do you think of that? Is that saying anything to you? I guess what it's saying to me is wake up. It's time to be yourself. It's time to be honest with yourself. It is time to stop playing games, Brother Sean, and it's time to be a man of God. It's time to put aside all your ambitions, all your great hopes, and live in the now. Live in this moment. Enjoy this moment, because this moment is a gift from God. It is a precious gift. In humility is the greatest freedom. As long as you have to defend the imaginary self that you think is important, you lose your peace of heart. As soon as you compare that shadow with the shadows of other people, you lose all joy, because you have begun to trade in unrealities, and there is no joy in things that do not exist. Thomas Merton. Right. I would like us now to be still. I would like us to come into the presence of the Christ. Just come as we are. Come if you're weary, heavily burdened, come. If you're happy and fulfilled, come. If you're depressed, suicidal, down in the mouth, come. If your back is killing you and your legs are aching and your head is spinning, come. Be still. Quieten the mind. Take a deep breath. And now release to Gaia all of those stressors. And another deep breath. And now release to the Christ. And let us call on the Spirit of God, the Spirit of love, joy and peace. Let us ask the Father, Mother God, that in the name of the Christ, we will be given the gifts of the Spirit that will allow us see what you see, hear what you say, and do as you ask in this stillness. Let us be still. And just choose a place that allows you to be still. It may be your prayer room. It may be beside a tree. It may be in a forest or in your garden. It may be just here. Just relax. Relax and sense the peace of God. For that peace is a real peace. And that peace is your peace. Hold that peace. Treasure that peace. Because that peace is the love of God. And with every in-breath that we breathe, we are bringing in the peace and the love and the joy of the cosmic Christ. And He is here with us. He is in the stranger, the down and out. He's in the drug user and the prostitute. He's in the pole dancer. He's in the nurse, the doctor, the tramp. He's in the abused child. He's in those affected by mental health issues, those who are bedridden in chronic pain, those who are dying. He is with them, for He is them. And He's here with us, and He's calling us to come. to come as we are, whether we're gay, lesbian, a rampant heterosexual, a celibate, a disabled human being. He's inviting us to come. He's inviting us to sit with him and to allow him into our heart. He's inviting us now to place on our hands, like an offering, and place on these hands that which hurts us, that which ails us, that which separates us from the peace of God. And he's looking at you, and he can see that your hands are empty, and he looks into your eyes, and he says, why are you holding back from me? I have been upfront with you. I have been honest with you. Why can't you be honest with yourself? Why can't you reclaim your divinity for a start? And place on those hands the obstacles that you've put there in your life. Place them in your hands and allow me help you heal them and release them. But is there a struggle going on between the mind and the heart? We sense the love of the Christ. It's piercing our heart to jettison, to abandon, to abort everything, anything, anyone, everyone who takes us away from our truth and forces us to compromise on our integrity as a child of God. And he asks us again, who do you say that I am? He looks at you in the eye, and you are transfixed by his beautiful eyes, eyes that have suffered for you and me, eyes that have carried you and me, eyes that have sheltered us from the storm of life. And he asks you again, who do you say I am? Who do you say that I am? He asks us to take that because he knows that within the children of God who volunteered their heart in service, there is an unease, for they have lost or are losing their promise. And he challenges you and me every day. And who do you say that I am, Sean? Who do you say that I am? And I say, you are the Christ. You are the Son of God. You are my brother, my friend, my teacher, and I am your mystical bride. For I have given you my all. I have given you my heart. And though I fall down each day, your love lifts me up to climb the sacred mountain and there to see you and touch you, to hold you and to be held by you, to receive your embrace when others walk away. For you are my rod, you are my staff, you are my purpose for living. You are the joy of my life. This is who I say you are. You are my beloved. My beloved. And he looks at you and me and he just says, be still. And allow me place my hand on your heart to heal your heart of all the indecisiveness, all the hurt, the pain. And he asks you to trust him and to let go and let him be the physician of your soul and set you free, free to choose again, free to answer the question again, who do you say that I am? Who do you say that I am? Elizabeth, Eleanor, Harry, Sheila, Julie, Tom, Joy, Rob. Who do you say that I am? And I hold you in the palm of the hands of the Christ. I ask his love to encapsulate you and to hold you as a love offering, and that you and your life will be filled with his peace as I speak. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for allowing me into your quiet time. Rest and sleep well, and remember, you're not alone.